welcome to my live tonight. Hi, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Let me go live on TikTok. Welcome everybody to tonight's live. Hello, I am Christy-Faith. It's so good to see you guys tonight. Hi everybody, welcome. I don't see myself on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know if I'm actually there. Okay, he'll check it. Babe, we'll check it. Welcome, everybody. Let me fix my mirroring here. Okay, let's see. Mirror. There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live. I'm Christy-Faith. I am author, speaker, podcaster. It's so good to see you all. Hi, Kendra. I see people already. Welcome. Okay, so I have Instagram here. Hi, everybody. I have TikTok here. Mwah, my lovelies. Here, what's here? YouTube? YouTube and Facebook. Okay, awesome. You guys, come on in. I'm Christy-Faith, educational expert, author, speaker, podcaster. I wrote a book called Homeschool Rising. I am a homeschool enthusiast. If you are sick of the system, I'm your girl. Please write in the comments where you are from. I'd love to hear if you are homeschool curious. So you popped in and you're like, wait a minute, who is this girl? If you're homeschool curious, let me know. If you're within your first 5 years, please let me know. Or if you're a homeschool veteran, let me know. Yes.
Ask Instagram if they can hear you.
Instagram, can you hear me? I'm talking to you. Stephanie, Kate, pal Natalie, can you guys hear me? We're not sure if we can. If we need to, we can plug. There's this little mic here.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Let me know, IG, Instagram, if you can hear me.
Yes.
I'd love to know. Okay. Yay. Awesome. Okay. If you guys even saw this setup, I wish I could turn my camera around so you see the hot mess and the wires that are below here. Anyway, I'm so glad to be here tonight to talk about educating our children. So if you don't know who I am the author of Homeschool Rising. I am a huge believer in redeeming our kids' childhoods. And I have been in education for over 20 years, and I firmly believe with all of my heart, soul, that the best place to educate a child is in a loving home with a motivated parent. Now, I don't think everybody can homeschool. I also don't think everybody should homeschool. But I love that it is a freedom in our country that we can do it if we wish. And it really is a beautiful way to educate a child and tailor an education that meets their needs. But even more than that, and I know there's a question, even more than that, it's a way to give them the skills that prepare them for the real world, like the actual real world. Now, let me know if it's ever crossed your mind, if you're not a homeschooler right now, or if you ever thought before you were a homeschooler, like those homeschoolers, those kids are sheltered. They're not going to be prepared for the real world. Would you let me know if that was you? Because that was me back in the day, before my transformation, before my awakening. That really was me. Okay, we have a question, and I'll make sure to repeat the questions because depending on the platform, I know you guys might not hear it. Yeah.
We've got a lot of homeschool curious.
Ooh, homeschool curious. Yay. Hi, Instagram. Homeschool curious mamas. Stay. Please stay. Okay.
We got Cam in Nashville, homeschool curious.
Hi, Cam.
Dean Dynasty, Ohio, homeschool curious.
Awesome.
Considering homeschool for the first time, 6th grade fall.
Oh, junior high. Yes, girl, stay. Is that a mom or a dad? What was the username?
That was, let's see, Dean Dynasty.
Okay, I am so passionate about homeschooling the older years. Most women quit.
We got
Don't quit.
Faith over fear, an ex-school teacher, public school mom, survivor and regretter. I like that, survivor and regretter.
Oh, man. Can we be best friends? Okay.
And we got Brendan, homeschool kid from Australia, taken from the school system in grade 1 by my awesome mom 35 years ago.
Woohoo!
Massive fan of family learning.
Welcome, Brendan. Yay. Awesome.
Kate, former classroom teacher, had kids and started to shift.
Yeah. That's a lot of us. Because you know what? I put a post out earlier this week. We're kind of the canaries in the mines. Do you guys know that analogy? That we're like, we have a front row seat to the show, that's happening. And we're like, yeah, not going to put our kids in this.
We got
So.
Christy from Florida, very homeschool curious.
Hi, Christy from Florida, homeschool curious.
On
Is she on
TikTok.
IG?
She's
TikTok.
on TikTok.
Hi,
And we got
Christy.
Kendra.
You guys, those homeschool curious people, like, this is why I go live. Please ask your questions. Please, please, please. So I don't know the price of my book right now. It has been a really good price lately. If it's under 20, buy it. Because the list price is, what is it on the back of here? Yeah, the list price is $27. So if you see my book on Amazon for $20 or under, grab it. You're getting a really good deal. My book is called Homeschool Rising, okay? Like, don't think that, like, this is my sales pitch. Like, I make nothing on each copy. So I don't know if you guys know that about authors.
There's another Christy on TikTok. Boy, Mom.
Hi, Christy.
I want to homeschool.
Boy, Mom.
I don't know how to start, but I also love the staff at our current elementary.
Yes, I get it. I get it. That tug and that pull. Who's feeling that tug and that pull? I call it the educational gap. It's like, okay, you know this isn't right, but what the alternative is so scary and unknown. If that's you, let me know in the comments. I am here. I just got on, you guys. I'm here for the next hour. I can answer any questions you have about homeschooling. And by the way, this side of the internet, this Christy-Faith side of the internet, I know I'm mouthy. I know I'm mouthy on social media, but I'm not going to judge you. I actually do believe in parents' rights. You can do what you want to do. But here's the thing, is that I have been in education a really long time. I have read all of the research. We had our own awakening. It actually led us to selling our business, which I can share. I talk about that in my book, selling our company, moving across states, and to make it more affordable for me to stay home and homeschool my kiddos. So, and we left our careers in education. So please do ask us any questions that you have tonight about homeschooling. No question is too weird. If it's socialization, that's your hang up, ask it. If it's prom, go for it. Ask me. Okay, let's just get into it. Yes, question.
Okay, we got a lot.
Okay.
People are asking about can we talk about the Make Homeschool Safe Again Act? Trump's new act. That might be something we'll do later.
Yeah, that might be something we'll do later. I might do a podcast on that.
What do you recommend for high school science?
Okay, so I have a free download of all of my curriculum recommendations. It's completely free. You can just go to my bio, click whatever platform you're on right now, click on my face, and it says on the top there, it says on the house. And if you scroll down, there's all these freebies for you. There's a 23-page how to homeschool guide. There's all of my curriculum recommendations, and I do it by subject because not all curriculum is good. And please make those available. I also have a free 5-minute homeschool style finder. And that is a really great quiz. And if you are on this live tonight, you're homeschool curious or within your first 5 years and you don't know your homeschooling style. So let me explain really quick. So there are 9 homeschool pedagogies or homeschool styles. I know you know a couple of them: Montessori, Waldorf. Some of you may know Charlotte Mason. Give me a thumbs up if what I'm saying you know. Charlotte Mason, the classical style. Then we have our unschoolers, right? There's also unit study, eclectic, right? And interest-led. So there are 9 different homeschooling styles, and you really do need to know your style first because that will help you eliminate curriculum that you're not going to like, right? Curriculum isn't cheap. So I don't want to lead you in the wrong direction and just say, buy this when I don't know what kind of homeschooler you are. I don't know your heart. I don't know what you want for your kids. So please do take that 5-minute quiz and then come back because I'm going to be here for the next hour. Come back and tell me what your results were for the quiz. Yes.
Okay, so we got a ton of questions. We're going to get to them as fast as we can.
Okay, tons of questions. That's okay. We're good.
Kate's saying, Kate Bates on Insta, why
Hi,
is
Kate.
curriculum so hard? And why can I not find a really good actual writing curriculum for younger elementary? She's a former teacher.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the reasons why it's hard to find now, I don't know if can I clarify? Are you talking about composition or penmanship? So when people say handwriting, I always need to know which one you're talking about. Are you talking about penmanship, like manuscript or cursive? Or are you talking about composition, writing paragraphs and essays? When we get back, did she reply yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
Composition.
Okay, yeah, composition. So one of the reasons why it's hard to find one, they do exist for the earlier grades, but quite frankly, a lot of us in the homeschool space don't believe it's developmentally appropriate to start doing formal, heavy composition until about 3rd or 4th grade. And your kid won't be behind if you wait. So that is one of the reasons why in the homeschool space, it is harder to find. Usually under 3rd grade, you're going to find it wrapped up in an English and literature. You're going to find it as a full language arts. To answer your question, that's why. Yeah.
Dean Dynasty, how do you choose the right curriculum? There's so many options.
Yeah, so there are so many options and they're not cheap. So it can be an expensive mistake. So the number one thing I tell people to do is first know your homeschooling style. What platform are they on? I want to look at the right camera.
Insta.
Yeah. So the first thing that I recommend is to know your homeschooling style. There are 9 different styles, or the fancy word is called pedagogies. I have a free 5-minute quiz. You can literally take it right now and come back. Because most curriculum that is sold is within one of these pedagogies. So just by knowing what you lean towards, like, am I more of a classical homeschooler? Am I more of a traditional homeschooler? That will help you eliminate like 80% of what's on the market right off the bat. That helps you narrow it down. And curriculum advising is a lot of what we do in Thrive Homeschool Community too. That is my private online nationwide community.
Juanita, just ordered your book.
Yay! Where is she?
Insta.
Oh, hi. It's Anita?
Juanita.
Juanita. Oh, thanks for buying my book. Awesome. If you guys bring it to one of the conferences, I'll sign it. I have 6 conferences that I'm coming to in the spring. The first one is Indiana. I'll name the conferences. Let me know what state you're in. So I'm going to Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, Virginia, North Carolina. Okay, Indiana.
You said Missouri?
The people who know me are probably going to be like, Christy, why are you forgetting? Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia,
Minnesota,
North Carolina, and Minnesota. Oh, and I'm so excited. Anyone from Minnesota here tonight? Because Minnesota, I get to do my mom's night out. And I am so stinking pumped to do my mom's night out because that's like a girl's night. It's awesome. Yeah.
Oneida on Instagram. I'm sorry, TikTok. I have a junior being recruited by a D2 football team.
Yeah.
Who can help with NCAA transcripts?
Yeah, NCAA can. So there is a transcript service through NCAA. Awesome. Yes, go there. Boom. Done. Mm-hmm. Great.
Oh, R. Brown over on Instagram. I took your quiz twice, and both times came back Charlotte Mason.
All right.
Before I did that, I started using Easy Peasy.
Easy Peasy's not Charlotte Mason.
Which has been great, but definitely not.
Yes. See? Yes.
And she's from Indiana. Can't wait to come see you.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to hug? Are we going to hug? Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. Yeah, and I think you can register for Indiana. And then just today, Tara, are you on one of my lives right now? I was just on Indiana's podcast. It's not airing yet, but I was on the podcast today for Indiana. So I probably was a little bit too mouthy on today because we were talking about my keynote that I'm giving there. And then I kind of like got all emotional, like AKA I kind of went off.
Dr. RDZ.
What platform?
Instagram. This is a great question.
Oh.
Did you and hubby always agree, or was there ever a time that you two had to find common ground to homeschool?
Did we always agree? Babe.
We're generally on the same page.
We generally are on the same page. Okay, so but don't compare us to other people. We are weirdos, okay? So keep in mind that we started the Learning Center together, and so we had like front row seats to the system, and we're like, this doesn't look so good. So we've always been on the same page. We've never been people that just blindly follow anything or anybody. So we have, but what I will say is that it is really common to not be on the same page. Even people that end up homeschooling all the way, sometimes one of the spouses is like, okay, I'll let you do it, but, or not let, or like, okay, if you really want to do it, go ahead, but not fully sold. Is that any of you guys right now? Hi, I'm so happy to see you guys on TikTok. Tell me where you're from. I'm here to answer any and all homeschooling questions. I want to let you know that even though school came back for January, you can still pull your kid out legally. And you can absolutely do it if you're like, wait a minute, I should have never put them back. Is that you? Is anybody here on this live tonight thinking, I put him back in January, I'm kicking myself, I should have homeschooled? I want you to know you don't have to finish out the year. In your state, you can legally pull your child. We just have to figure out how. It is our right to homeschool our kiddos. Our kids don't belong to the government. Watch, TikTok's going to ban me now. TikTok.
Kate Spates on IG just pulled out end of December.
Woohoo! Yay, Kate. Yes. And if you guys don't know about Thrive Homeschool Community, that is my online nationwide community where we teach you how to build a fail-proof homeschool. So if you're feeling a little bit alone, a little bit scared, not sure about logistics, we have office hours tomorrow. We have elementary office hours at 1 and teen office hours in the evening. We have tons of office hours every month, special needs, homeschool huddles. All of these are live Zooms. That's just one of the things that we do. If you're in Thrive, let people know in the chat because I just want to answer questions tonight. This isn't about Thrive. Yeah, but if you have questions, do ask. Yes, next question.
See Delight. I just pulled my 5th grader out last week.
Woohoo!
Advice for starting homeschool mid-grade.
Yes, you can absolutely start homeschooling mid-grade. Absolutely. No problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I encourage it.
R. Brown said, I did your THSC webinar last week, and it was great.
Who did it? Who?
R. Brown on IG.
Hi. Oh, thanks for joining us. I'm so glad. That's fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm also giving that webinar in Thrive Homeschool Community in February.
Becca, Thrive is the best.
Oh, is that my Becca?
That's your Becca.
Which platform?
TikTok.
Hi. I told Becca, I was like, I'm going live tonight and I don't look very good. And I'm in a beanie. Why? Because there isn't enough dry shampoo on the planet. And it's freezing here right now in Colorado. What was the temperature today? Did it even get to non-freezing today? Was it like 30?
Yeah, no.
Did it get above?
Oh, no. Like in the teens.
In the teens. Yeah. And that's terrible, you guys. I'm going to confess. It's terrible because it's like I usually go to my 7 a.m. Pilates class and I look out the window and I see the snow and I'm like, Pilates isn't looking so good this morning at 7 a.m. But I got to say, can you guys encourage me? Because when I get out to Pilates and I come back, I'm all regulated. I'm ready to homeschool my kids. I feel great and energized. And I've been a little bit like ho-hum. And I think it's part of it is because I haven't done my Pilates.
Everything mama related on IG. What is the recommended age to start homeschooling?
Recommended age to start homeschooling, birth, because you are anyway, right? Who's teaching your kid how to walk, how to eat? But generally speaking, I think I know what she means by her question. So preschool, I started homeschooling my kiddos with very play-based, gentle, nothing strenuous or academic in preschool. And then typically like 5 years old is when you start with the reading and the early math and things like that. If you're curious about how many hours per day per age, get my 23-page How to Homeschool guide. I have a graph in there on your age kid and how many hours per day to be homeschooling your kiddo. Yeah. Okay, yes. And while everybody's here, I want to share with you, this live is brought to you by a sponsor who I actually love and I use myself, and that is CTC Math Homeschool Curriculum. I love CTC Math. So in my home, I have 2 typical learners. I have a gifted learner and I have a struggling learner. And CTC Math, the way it is formulated, it works for all of my kiddos. Why? Because it is self-paced. It is excellent. You're not compromising any academics whatsoever. And gradually, I have put all of my kids on CTC Math. It truly is amazing. It does all of the teaching and grading for me, which I love. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, this is brought to you by. Like, actually, I really do use and love CTC Math. And so if you're curious about, how do you homeschool like the upper grades of math and science and things like that? The answer is we source really well thanks to companies like CTC Math, where we can homeschool with confidence. Are we teaching everything? No. I don't know why people still think that. Like, it's like, why are people thinking that? I'm not teaching AP calculus. We start sourcing really well. And yes, it is still homeschooling. So if you're math insecure, anybody here math insecure, like, oh my goodness, please know that there are beautiful ways to homeschool your kids and give them an excellent math education, and with something that does all the teaching and grading for you. It's also gamified, which I absolutely love. Just today, one of my kiddos got confetti. It was all on the screen, and she showed it to me because I was working next to her checking emails on my computer as she was doing her CDC math, and she was pausing and showing me all of her confettis with a big smile on her face. So I really, really, truly do love CDC Math. So make sure to check them out. They give you a free trial. And someone can put the link in. ctcmath.com. Yes, question.
Somebody had a question about homeschooling parents that deal with depression and anxiety.
Yeah. Join the club. I think that's pretty typical. I also, a lot of us are homeschooling through hormonal stuff as well. Is that anybody right now? Like perimenopause, menopause? Yeah. And so, I think that there's a myth that we have to be perfect or extra patient or extra good parents per se to be able to homeschool our children. And we are just like everybody else. We have our struggles. We have our losses. We have our anxieties and our own hard times. And quite frankly, I think that can be a benefit and an asset. I think it can make us better homeschoolers because when our kids struggle through those things, we'll be able to help them navigate life. So there are some keys to homeschooling with depression and anxiety. Part of it is really setting your kiddos up on a schedule and for success. So if you have a hard day, and a plan for some of those hard days. But also I will say that it is important, and I'm not going to blow past this at all, that it is important that we always are, no matter what you struggle with, that we are working on ourselves and growing and fighting to be joy-filled people. And I know that it's hard, especially when you're going through hard times with a lot of sorrow. But that's the example we want to set for our kiddos. So we've all had those days. Anybody here struggling with anxiety and depression and homeschooling? It can be a challenge for sure. I don't think it needs to stop you. I think that you need really strong community. There are a lot of women in Thrive Homeschool community who have a lot of personal struggles, whether it is with a marriage or that maybe they are a single mom. A lot of us are working moms, and we have our struggles with our own stuff, our own learning disabilities. A lot of us have dyslexia, ADHD, depression, anxiety, and things like that. And I think having a community is key, a place where you can feel safe and vulnerable. That's why a lot of our office hours end up in tears, because we are real. Like, we don't fake it. This is not, Thrive Homeschool community is not Instagram. This is real life. And I love that. And I'll never change that. And people often say, like, you can't find real community or connection when you're online. Well, I beg to differ, because we have achieved it. Some of my closest friends are virtual on Thrive. Anybody in Thrive, you guys can share how you guys feel about our community and how special it is. I'll let you guys speak for it too. Yes.
Paige Phillips.
Hi, Paige. What platform?
Insta.
Hi, Paige.
I'm
so close. My close-up is on Instagram.
What are great ways to socialize your homeschooler?
Oh my goodness. So many ways to socialize your homeschooler. So download my 23-page How to Homeschool guide. It's free. It's an ebook and it's totally free. We do so many things. I mean, besides the play dates, the co-ops, the sports, and all of that, we honestly, most of us are exhausted from our kids' socialization. Keep in mind, we're still in the neighborhood. They're still the neighborhood kids. We're still playing all the sports. We're in the sports. Are you kidding? It's practices and it's games and all of that. So we do everything that everyone else does. And more than. But here's the thing that I want to mention about homeschool socialization. So if this is actually, can you let me know right now? I don't want to mention anything if it's not going to apply. Is socialization a concern of yours? Or maybe it's a concern of someone around you and you don't know how to answer them. Would you give me like a heart or a like? That's kind of important as I go into what I'm about to say. Oh my goodness, Kendra's here. Yay. Okay, so, and I'm wondering if that's my Candy. Is that my Candy who just joined? Hi, Candy. And we have Ashley, Boy Mom. Okay, Christy, Boy Mom. So chapter 7 in Homeschool Rising will once and for all answer your socialization questions. Okay. So on this live right now, I cannot read. I mean, I would, if you want me to, I would read you my chapter 7 of my book, but can we just call spade to spade right now? The socialization that happens in the public and private school system, that is not socialization at all. That is forced association. It is age segregation. You can be the most popular kid in the school and be the loneliest kid in the school. I am sick and tired of people accusing us of not socializing our kid when that's why we're homeschooling. Anyone else here homeschooling because of socialization? The amount of bullying that happens in our schools. I mean, come on now. So, but it's really hard to wrap your brain around wait, because we think that being around groups of children, by the way, all of our same age, which after 12th grade, when are you around all the people your same age? Like never, right? So I don't know why in our society we somehow got to this conclusion that you have to be in a classroom full of 29 other kids your exact same age in order to be socialized. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not real life. It's literally not real life. More than that, we have the disorder of peer orientation that I go through in my book in chapter 7 of Homeschool Rising. We have age segregation. We have kiddos, and I hear a lot like, oh, my kid's an extrovert. I could never homeschool them. Okay, do you realize that the general conclusion you can make from that? So does that mean if your kid's an introvert, you should be homeschooling them? Like, for some reason, with the topic of socialization, logic literally gets thrown out the door when people start talking about homeschoolers and socialization. So here's the thing. Bottom line. I researched what characteristics make a socialized child, and there are 13 of them. I have them in chapter 7 of my book. There are 13 characteristics, according to child psychology, that ensure a child is experiencing healthy socialization. And guess what? A classroom environment is not required for a single one of those items. Not a single one of those items. You guys, I went to psychological research outside of homeschooling. Outside. The reality is we can meet our kids' social need and develop their SEL learning. That SEL stands for social emotional learning. We can develop it better and healthier in the homeschool environment. We have tons of friends. We have tons of co-ops. We're still doing the sports. We're still playing outside in the cul-de-sac. We are doing all of those things, okay? You do not need a school to socialize your child. In fact, I argue in chapter 7 that actually the schools are doing damage to our children socially and emotionally. So that was a lot.
Evelyn says, how do you deal with, on YouTube, how do you deal with kids saying they want to go to school to have friends?
Yeah. So I would say that they're asking you for more friends. They're asking you, they have a social need that's not being met. And it is our responsibility to try to meet their social need. They're not asking for school. They're asking for more friends, right? So I don't know her. I don't know her specific situation, but just based on what you said.
Paige, okay. I
Yes.
just purchased your book. Can't wait to read it.
Yay, Paige. Awesome. And yeah, we do the scouts, we do the sports, activities, co-ops, play dates. We do all of the things.
Kristen Spangler, I need some good family-style history recommendations.
Oh, yes.
Kiddos are 7, 10, and 13. Just took the Homeschool Style Finder and set on classical, Waldorf, and Charmin.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, you're so primed for learning together, not just for history, but I would encourage you to do it for science too. So grab my curriculum recommendations. It's a free download. totally free. Grab it because I go by subject on there and history is on there. And there are some amazing curriculum companies that are family together learning. So I should share with you, if you want to know what I use, so particularly for science, and we are a faith-based homeschooling family, so I also use them for Bible. And I use BJU Press Homeschool Curriculum. I absolutely love it. A lot of people think that BJU Press Homeschool Curriculum is like an all-in-one option where like you buy the entire grade level and then you do the entire grade level. And while they are really great for that, I'm more of a classical Charlotte Mason girly. I like to pick and choose my curriculum, and they work beautifully for, one, just picking and choosing subjects, although again, you can use them for everything, but we use them as family together learning. And I gotta tell you, our discussions are phenomenal. And one of the reasons why our family discussions are so great is because BJU Press Homeschool does focus on critical thinking and tons of hands-on learning. There's projects. And of course, you get the biblical worldview with your subjects. So if you are a faith-based homeschooler and kind of Charlotte Mason and classical too, they're really known for being in that more traditional realm, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm a classical Charlotte Mason girly, and I love it. The conversations we had just today with my kiddos surrounding the BJU Press homeschool lessons that they had was just, it warmed my heart today. So don't think that that's a grade level option. And it gives you such great scaffolding where you're not forced to like be on the internet at 2 a.m. searching for projects to do. They're just all built in. So be sure to check out BJU Press Homeschool as you're shopping for your curriculum, either for this spring or for next year. I'm repeating. I have loved this year so much. I am doing rinse and repeat for next year with my BJU Press Homeschool topics, and you can ask me more about that too. Yes.
Dean Dynasty says on Instagram, would you recommend BJU Press all-in-one 6th grade kit for a first-time homeschooler?
You know, sometimes this is a great question. So the question, if I can take a step back and answer it more abstractly, if you are a first-time homeschooler and you're really intimidated and maybe your kid is in the older grades, any grade, but particularly she's mentioning 6th grade, and you're super intimidated, I absolutely a lot of times recommend just buying a trusted homeschool curriculum like BJU Press Homeschool. Not all of them you can trust, but you can with them, and just buying the grade level kit and doing that kit and getting your feet wet into homeschooling, because at least you know that you can lean on something that's really trustworthy in your first year. So I do recommend, you know, depending on the family, to go with an all-in-one curriculum. Absolutely. And it's not, I don't even consider it a compromise. It's a choice that we make. And you can't go wrong with something like BJU Press Homeschool. Make sure to get on their mailing list so that you get notified of any sales that they have, because they do pop up. And if you're I like to hunt right around January and February. I like to hunt and kind of have a list of what I'm getting. In Thrive Homeschool Community, I coach the mamas. We have a coursework guideline packet where it's like all the subjects and you kind of list what you're sourcing with which kid and what grade. And so in Thrive Homeschool Community, I do teach you how to organize it really well. But yeah, anyway, you might benefit from that too. Yes.
She says, yes, I'm very intimidated. I know God's going to help me with this.
Oh yeah. Yes, absolutely. Don't be intimidated. Check them out. And if you really are scared, you might be a fit to join Thrive Homeschool Community. So make sure that you are signed up for my things and on my mailing list so that you get information, and check out that page. So on my homepage, Christy-Faith.com, you can click a button that says Thrive Homeschool Community and read through that page, and you'll know right away if it's what you need or not. Yes.
Purple Switch. Need to see more of Christy's animated hunting.
What did I do? Did I make a funny face?
No, you just said you hunted.
Oh, I know. Really? Do you, Jen? Oh, Jen always has my number.
S. Cologne. I don't have a question. I just want to thank you. This is so helpful.
Oh.
Reassuring to me.
Who says this?
S. Cologne over on IG.
Oh, thank you.
Kayla Ray.
And Jen, by the way, it was so fun to have you on that Zoom earlier this month. I loved seeing your beautiful face. She's so fun. She's one of our founding members. Did you know that? She's an OG. Who else is an OG here? Anybody else an OG on my live tonight? A founding member of Thrive?
Kayla Ray, can you give pointers? Single mom to a very intelligent 3.5-year-old who is so ready for learning.
Go for it, girl. So what's beautiful is when we have gifted learners. So, okay. So all learners are asynchronous, but we talk about it a lot when it comes to gifted learners. And really, we need to view gifted learners as a special need because it is. And I won't go into that tonight, but learning is asynchronous. And so what that means is that kiddos who are gifted in certain areas are going to be like beyond their grade level in some areas and like right on target in some, and then even behind in others. And so that's what's beautiful about homeschooling these kiddos, that we don't, funnel them into a grade level box and stifle them. And they end up hating learning. And so I think that kiddos who aren't your typical mainstream learners thrive in a homeschooling environment. Yes.
She follows up and says, just wanting to know how to start, I guess. That's what's difficult. He's already reading and writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and how old is he?
He's 3.5.
3.5 reading and writing. Okay. Yeah. So you can just keep going with, meet that need and keep going, and you'll know where he is, and you can just grab that curriculum recommendations guide that I have and just let your child go as far as they want and let them soar. Isn't that beautiful? I'm looking at Facebook and YouTube.
She said, I was planning to go to the Great Homeschool Convention in Columbus, Ohio. Would also love to know if it's worth it.
Okay, so a word about conventions. Yes. So I would love to share with you about conventions. So there are quite a few homeschooling conventions in our nation. The one thing that I will say is if you do have a state convention, and if you don't know who your state organization is, I highly recommend that you do know. You can Google like homeschooling in and then put your state. Because here's what you need to know about the homeschooling landscape across our country. What you need to know is that homeschooling rights are by the states, and they actually are pretty tenuous. They're pretty fragile in our country. And each state has an organization that is fighting for your right to keep homeschooling your kids and to fight for your freedoms. Our freedom to homeschool is people are trying to chip away at it every single legislative session. They are trying to control us. They are trying to control what curriculum we buy. They are trying to chip away at our parental rights. The single organization that is fighting for your rights, boots on the ground at the Capitol building in the sessions, is your state homeschooling organization. So here's what I want to say. If you have a state homeschooling organization, go to that convention. Your ticket, the ticket that you buy, which are not expensive, it is directly going to support your rights that you enjoy. And these states are nonprofit organizations. Anybody on a state board watching my live tonight, can you make yourself known? Whatever state that you're in, please let me know. It is vital that we are supporting our states in our rights to homeschool. And the easiest way to do it and a way to get something back is to attend your convention. And your ticket, that money is directly going to supporting your rights for homeschooling. So I want to encourage you to look into that. And then, of course, there are other amazing conventions, and but that is the word that I do want to say. I love coming to, I go everywhere, but I do personally always find a soft place in my heart, and when a state asks me to come, I really do everything I can possible to go.
Purple Switch says, yes. We ride at dawn.
Oh girl, see, she's my ride or die. Yes.
Corey over
awesome.
On,
Jen, are you coming to one? How close are you to one of mine?
Corey on TikTok.
Where, I forget where she is.
I'm a type A personality.
Type A, girl.
I struggle
Yes.
with having patience for my neurodivergent
Yes.
son's slow pace.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it.
Oh, okay. What platform?
TikTok.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Are you close to Minnesota, Jen? Because I'm coming to Minnesota and I'm doing the mom's night out. I'm trying to think. Because otherwise it's Indiana. I don't think you're close. Okay. So we have we have a mom who has trouble with her neurodivergent son. Fourth grade, who is slow at getting through things. So I just want to encourage you that it is really easy for us as homeschooling parents, with all the pressure that we have on ourselves and we want our kids to succeed. And we know what success looks like. We have it envisioned to not panic. And so the one thing that I have found, and I can only speak for myself, is through homeschooling, my biggest growth area that I am the most thankful for is in my parenting skills and in my self-regulation. In fact, I was on Indiana's podcast today and she asked me, what do you think is one of the most important traits for a homeschooling mom? And my answer surprised her, and I think it's going to surprise you too. And it was emotional regulation for the parent. So I will never stop speaking about this. I talk about it when I go to conventions, in my talks. I talk about it in Thrive Homeschool Community. And I have a talk on special needs. So this applies to you. And I go over kind of like a framework. I'm going to be giving this talk in Thrive Homeschool Community as well as the conventions. But it's my talk on homeschooling. It's called the Special Needs Blueprint. And it's a talk on homeschooling kiddos with special needs. And I talk about how we need to put on a new pair of lenses. And there is a framework to homeschooling our kiddos that have special needs. There's a framework to homeschooling them successfully. And one of my points in there is self-regulation for us and growing in our own parenting skills. That is what I have found with me. Okay. It is also what the research supports. So finding the middle ground between that disconnect, because I don't want anybody feel like sometimes their stress and they're getting triggered affects their relationship with their kiddo. We've all been there. I have been there too. And one of the things about homeschooling is I will always fight. I will fight for my relationship with my kids to be healthy. I never want it to be a battle. You know, we have hard days, but overall, I fight and I will never stop fighting for that relationship and for them feeling deeply connected with me, because our kiddos need a safe place to land. And that is and should be with the parent. So that's what I'll say on that. If you want more help with that, if you're feeling that disconnect a lot, I encourage you to look at Thrive Homeschool Community, because on all the office hours, we also have a certified parenting coach, and she talks about a lot of this stuff as well. Okay, next question.
It hit home with Corey.
Yeah. Yes. Cheers. So Corey, yeah, please. I don't know if she's in. We have a couple Corys in Thrive. I don't know, but I would love. And your son is in fourth grade. We have elementary office hours tomorrow. So will you please at least, it doesn't need to be for you. We're booming. Okay. But we're booming because Thrive is an incredible place. So take a look at that page tonight and see if it's something that you need, because we can definitely help you. And we can help you as early as tomorrow, more specifically. And you'll find other women who have the same exact struggles as you. Was she on TikTok? I'm looking at TikTok.
She's on TikTok.
Okay.
And there's office hours tomorrow, right?
Office hours tomorrow. We have, someone can verify. I think it's elementary at 1 and then teen office hours at 7.
Gonzalez over on Instagram.
Hi.
Similar question.
Yes.
How do I help my child who takes painstakingly long to do simple thing? I've tried timers, consequences. She just takes her sweet time, daydreams. Tips, please. School goes to 6 p.m. most days. Yes. So it should not be going to 6 p.m. I want to help you peel back that onion. There could be more going on. What grade? Don't know. There could be more going on with your daughter. So we need to figure that out. Yeah. Okay. 5-minute warning. 5-minute warning. Ask your question now.
Christy.
While I take a sip of water, and I hope you guys can't hear me swallow because I know that freaks people out. Let me sip.
Christy Boy Mom, my biggest holdback is worried we can't afford the curriculum and all the social activities. Any tips?
Yes. So you can absolutely homeschool affordably. There are even free homeschool curricula options. Also, a lot of the state orgs have scholarships. So I don't think that needs to hold you back. I think that there are ways, and we talk about it all the time in Thrive, like inexpensive ways to buy curriculum or buy on the sales and things like that. So, and then ultimately there are free options as well. So you can do a combo of free and then with some stuff that's like you really want this one, you pay, but you can find it on sale. Another thing I want to encourage you to do if budgeting is a concern of yours is curriculum is there on Facebook. There's always buy, sell, trade curriculum groups on Facebook. Also, I know for a fact that most of the homeschool organizations in your states have used curriculum fairs. So make sure you're on the mailing list for your state organization that supports homeschooling, and you'll get all those notifications. I have bought curriculum used. I have gotten it free. I've traded. I've gone years where I didn't buy curriculum and I just did it with living books, with the library books that I could get at the library or what I had in my own home. So don't let finances hold you back. Where there's a will, there's a way, and there's a lot of women who have paved the way for you and can give you all the tips, tricks, and hacks to finding resources at a very affordable price.
Gonzalez just followed up. Fourth grade, it's been happening for 2 years.
Fourth grade, 2 years.
Child who's taking a really long
She's taking a long time. Yeah, I don't know for sure. Is she on Instagram?
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm a professional educator. I have read thousands of IEPs. I worked with educational psychologists, principals, admissions counselors, and all of that. So, Gonzalez, the one thing I am going to tell you is if you do decide to join Thrive, the first thing you and I are going to be doing in the DMs is I'm going to be figuring out if there could be something going on with her learning and or attention or something else, and figuring out and trying to get to the bottom of it so that we can tailor a really great learning experience for both her and you. So because it can't go on like this, right? Yeah. So we can help you in Thrive. We also have once a month an office hours dedicated to homeschooling children with special needs. And I am there also, and 2 other experts are in there, and we are advising you on homeschooling your kiddo who has special needs. So when I tell you that Thrive it's almost like starting your master's degree in homeschooling. It truly is. It's an amazing place like nothing else on the planet. It truly is phenomenal. So please do make sure to check it out. Okay. Any other? And I wish I could help you now on this live. I just don't know you, and I don't know your daughter, and I am.
Oh, she says, I'll definitely
yeah.
Thrive. I
Yeah.
need help because I'm having burnout.
Yeah. We don't want that. We don't want that. Can someone give her hugs? And if anybody knows her, like DM her and give her hugs on Instagram. I don't want you to feel alone or burnt out or anything, okay? And even if Thrive isn't a fit for you, like I want this community to come around you and help you, okay?
Sarah says on Instagram, any advice on AI programs you recommend?
Yeah, I'm not using AI with my kiddos right now. Are we? No. No. They're playing with it here and there. I do plan on it, but it is really important for me as a homeschool mom, particularly in the area of writing, that my kids know how to write and can compose on their own without ChatGPT. And so we have all of those websites blocked right now to ensure that our kiddos actually learn the skills. But that will definitely be incorporated, later on in their years, sooner than later, actually, because we do have a teenager. Yeah.
Okay.
But they have to prove that they can write first. Yeah. Okay, you guys, that was it. This was the live. That went so fast. Make sure to take my 5-minute homeschool style finder quiz. It only takes 5 minutes. I have a 23-page how to homeschool guide. I also have a free download of all of my curriculum recommendations. So please get in the Christy-Faith ecosystem. We're here to help you. If we didn't get to your question tonight, because I know we were multi-streaming on 4 different platforms, email us. We answer every single email.
Dean Dynasty said, how do you get your spouse on board?
Yes. How do you get your spouse on board? Well, first, you can buy my book, Homeschool Rising, and that can be a challenge. So what I will say, why you drop that bomb right when you're like, we're about to go, and then you give me a question?
I want to help her.
Okay, I know. I want to help her too.
She's been around since the beginning.
She's been here since, where is she?
She's on Instagram.
Okay, so how do you get your spouse on board when you want to homeschool and your spouse doesn't want to homeschool or isn't on board or is highly questioning it? So here's what I'm going to tell you is I do go over this in my book, and I'll tell you a little bit right now. So what's really important is that your spouse feels heard, feels seen, heard, and listened to, because your spouse's concerns are equal to yours. You have concerns as to why you want to pull your child out of the system. Your spouse has concerns as to why they think that your child should stay in the system. And I think that you should actually write down concerns. Just write them down. Both of you guys have a night, you get some wine, and you brain dump. And you really talk about them, and not in a way where they say their thing and then you just combat it. No, like you really, really listen. And you say, you can say things like, look, if I can promise you this, that I will make sure to focus on this, does that take care of your fear? Because one thing that happens with our fears for everybody, okay, non-homeschoolers or homeschoolers, is we don't know the unknown. So we have this aversion to picturing, like, for example, one of my friends, her husband was just really hung up on prom, and he just couldn't get past it, like to the point where he didn't want her to homeschool because their kid might miss out on prom. Well, actually, there are homeschool proms. There's homeschool proms, homeschool dances, homeschool graduations. We have all of that, but even if you didn't, one thing that they realized, because they had a really healthy relationship, is when they kind of hashed everything out, they really got to the bottom of what his fear really was. And it really wasn't about prom. It was about missing out on things he had. And he really wanted that. But when he saw the tremendous amount of gains that their child would receive through homeschooling, he then realized, oh, prom is so small. Right? Turns out that kid went to prom anyway. But you get my point, is that often when we just talk through our fears and really listen, really, really listen, and come up with a plan together, because the truth is any concern that someone may have about homeschooling, there is a solution for it. So let me give you an example. If you're worried about socialization, done. There's trillions of ways to socialize our kids, right? In a healthier way than the schools. If you're worried about academics, going to a good college, statistics prove that homeschoolers get into better colleges, okay? Colleges are now recruiting homeschoolers. So the reality is that a lot of these things are already covered, if not are actually taken care of in a better way through homeschooling. And sometimes it just needs to be seen, and not in an argumentative way, but just because homeschooling is an unknown. So a great place to start is my book, Homeschool Rising. It is not, I know I'm mouthy, okay? I know I'm mouthy on social media, but I specifically wrote this to not be so mouthy, because I wanted this to be a book that people could hand relatives and spouses, okay? So make sure to grab my book. And it's on Amazon Prime. You can get it tomorrow probably. And that's it. All right. I think did I answer that well enough? Okay. I love you guys. I will see you the next time I come live, or in Thrive Homeschool Community tomorrow. We have 2